Hello, welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Cath.
Hi.
We're doing the supermarket sweep thing now, where we went in supermarkets in Spain, France, and then back in the UK, and we selected 69 items and priced them all up in pounds and in euros and put the results into a spreadsheet. So we're not actually going to go through 69
No.
because when I did 69, it took ages and it was too long. So if we did 69 of each item and showed you every one of them from every country,
You'd be bored.
well, you won't be bored. Not so much bored; they'd be gone. So if you watched,
Yeah.
if you watched the previous video, which is probably up here, which was the expenses for the whole of the trip, all the way down to Quesada in Spain from Ripon, and all the way back up. That included fuel, ferries, and every other cost. Then this is in a similar vein, but it'll be a shorter video. So I've got my little spreadsheet there, and I might put it on screen, and I'm going to go through just a few of them. I'll go through the things, each item that was the dearest, and then that's it. And I'll show you the spreadsheet so you can have a look yourself. And we'll give you the total of how much it all cost. So the first thing, bananas.
Bananas.
Yeah, 90 cents a pound in England. And the highest price was in Spain, believe it or not, in a supermarket, and there were different varieties, but £1.35 a pound. I've gone wrong straight away. £1.35 a kilo. I'm doing everything in kilos. So you'll find some prices, they look a bit crazy. You'd never pay, for instance, coffee. You'd be saying, I never pay £36.84 for coffee.
Or salmon 24.27.
No, salmon's right. Per kilo, you might buy a side of salmon, which
wow.
is so much a kilo. So things like coffee, I've written it down as I've just said. I'll start again with that. So everything's done in kilos or litres, not in per or packet size or anything, per packet. For instance, you'd never pay £37.10 for coffee, except you would, because that's how much it is a kilo. So I've put the kilo price down. Because in some places there might be 200 grams, in others it's 300 grams, 100 grams, 400 grams. So I've just done kilo price. So let's just have a quick look through. So bananas, £1.35 a kilo.
In Spain.
In Spain. Beef mince, that was the dearest in France, at £11.34 a kilo. Butter, similar across the board, but dearer in France, which was £8.56. Cheese. Now, cheddar cheese, not surprisingly.
Wow, that's expensive in France.
Yeah, but not surprisingly, cheapest in the UK. Quite dear in Spain because it's not their normal cheese. And in France, £17.46 a kilo. So very expensive in France. Sliced Edam, it's the other way around. They import a lot of that for the tourists into France and into Spain. So it was dearer in the UK at £12 a kilo for slices of Edam cheese. Chicken fillets, quite cheap in Spain at £5.41, but the dearest again was £8.72 in France. The supermarkets are very similar to the English ones. You can get own brands, savers, etc. But I've just tried to get an even thing all across. Coca-Cola, similar price everywhere. Conference pears. Now they were cheaper in Spain at 1.88, and they were dearer by a penny in France and the UK at 2.62 a kilo. But we did find as well, even concerning bananas, any fruit, things like that, if you go to local markets,
cheap.
It's always cheaper.
Always cheaper.
So particularly in Spain, the prices at the local markets, like in the area where we stay, near Guadalmar del Segura, there's a lemon tree market. There's also the Zoco market. There's a Rojales market. If you go down there and walk around, you get
your
everything
fruit
there.
and veg a lot cheaper than the supermarkets.
Yeah, really, really cheap. At the end of the day, you get bargains where they give you bags, a kilo of peppers for €1 and things like that. Plus, you get all your olives and everything there cheap. So the supermarkets are not the best buy by any means. Strangely enough, if you go to markets in England, you normally pay a premium. The supermarkets are pretty good in England for fruit and veg. Eggs, a lot dearer in England. For £4.20, I did those by the dozen. Cans of Fanta Pop, dearer in Spain. A tipple of gin. Now, alcohol in Spain is always cheaper, isn't it?
Oh, a lot cheaper, yeah.
Readily available, very, very cheap. Some of the beers are just, well, they're cheaper than water in some respects, or almost as cheap as water. These are 8 packs of Heineken, and they're divisible, so you can take a single one out if you want. And they're €2.12 a litre. If you buy them individual, they're dearer. And there's plenty of other beers. Some Amstel. Amstel, 12 packs of Amstel is £1.66 a litre, £6.60 per pack of cans. There's other beers that are a lot cheaper, their own brand beers. We've got Mao, €2.03 a litre for these cans of Mao. But the bottle of gin, the same bottle of gin in all 3 supermarkets, which is, which one did we do in Spain? Mercadona? And Carrefour no, not Carrefour. Leclerc,
yeah. Leclerc, wasn't it? Yeah.
Leclerc.
I think it was.
In Spain and Tesco in Britain. So the dearest place for gin was £30 in the UK, $17.39
in Spain.
Cans of Heineken. I always look at litre prices for cans of beer because there's a big variation in England, and there's a big variation across the European countries. So what have we got there, Cath?
You've got Heineken there, £3.86 in the UK.
That's the dearest.
Compared with £1.85 in Spain and £2.01 in France.
Yeah, you normally for beers in England they're about £2.30 a litre. Cider's a lot cheaper, by the way. Anyway, we'll move on. Kellogg's cornflakes, a pound cheaper in France.
A pound cheaper in France?
Yeah, $4.17 in France, $5.08 in England.
And it's $5.24 in Spain, so there's not much difference between UK and Spain.
But a big difference between France. I don't like France, we're so cheap.
No, maybe they've got them on special offer.
Ketchup, dearer in England. Fresh leeks. In the Spanish supermarket, they were £4.19 a kilo. But we know you can buy them from the market for a lot cheaper. In England, $2.78, but in France, surprisingly, they were only $1.48 a kilo. Lettuces, round about the pound mark in all the different supermarkets. Milk per litre was $1.55 in France, and round the pound mark in Spain
and UK.
And the UK, yeah. Fresh mushrooms, very expensive in Spain at $4.37. The coffee, the dearest was in Spain, and I thought it'd be cheaper, so I bought 2 big jars of it and brought them home, and then found out I could have saved some money if I'd bought them in the Tesco's. I could have saved even more money if I'd bought them in France.
Yeah, because when you look, £37.11 in Spain, as France is £27.68 and UK £36.84.
Yeah. Olive oil. Last year in Spain, olive oil had reached the €10 a litre mark. It's dropped back again now, so a standard olive oil in Spain is only £4.32, as opposed to £8.54 in France and £7 in the UK. Onions, more expensive in Spain. Concentrated cartons of orange juice are more expensive in Spain. Fresh orange is very expensive in Spain as well, considering they grow the oranges there.
That's expensive, isn't it? Passata in France.
Yeah, passata.
$3.79 in France as opposed to
for a litre jar or litre carton
in Spain and $1.30 in UK.
Yeah, we also found, I didn't price it, but if you get tubes of tomato concentrate, it's very cheap in England. and very expensive in Spain. I think we're about $2.75 a tube in Spain, but I didn't price that one, so I'll forget that one anyway. Pasta, a very similar pasta across the board, was $1.30 the UK, $1.40 in Spain, but $3.79 in France. A spaghetti pasta, $1.69 in France. Pork shoulder joints. France was the dearest at $6.81, Spain $4.32, and we weren't far behind at £5. Rice, the UK, 52 pence for normal rice, as opposed to the dearest, which was in Spain,
118.
where they use more rice than they do in either France or the UK. 118. Fresh salmon fillet, 18.46 in our Tesco, 18.34 in the Mercadona, but 24.28 in the French
Look how
supermarket.
much strawberries are.
Strawberries.
Expensive in France.
Yeah, $12.22 a kilo in France. You can buy them cheaper in the supermarket in Spain at $6.99.
Supermarket in Spain. Oh yeah.
Yeah, supermarket in Spain $6.99. 10.13 in the UK.
But again, the markets are the best places to go to.
Always, yeah. Sugar, a kilo of sugar, 87 pence in Spain, 109 in the UK, but 141 in France. Plum tomatoes in a tin, 3.13 a tin, or per kilo in France, 3.13, as opposed to England where it was 108. But even in Spain where they grow more tomatoes, I mean, they send them to us, don't they? They were dearer there, 141. Cherry tomatoes in the supermarkets, in the salad area. Cherry tomatoes, now you'd think Spain would be definitely the cheapest, but the UK was the cheapest. Maybe it's because we're getting them from Holland and there's less transport costs.
Maybe.
So $9.09 a kilo in England, $13.80 in France,
yeah.
$10.92 in Spain. Tuna steaks, you can get tuna steaks in ginormous tins in Spain. They've got a big thing about tuna.
They're really big tins.
There's tons in there, loads of all different sizes, but they have whopping tins. I'll show you one anyway. But the average small tins of tuna, regular tuna, in England, we pay $14.55 a kilo, which is quite dear. Well, it's the dearest of the three. $9.50 in France, but $10.43 in Spain, which is the biggest market. You'd think again they'd be cheaper. The last item we looked at was Weetabix. Now they're all probably imported from the UK.
That's surprising.
Yeah, but £8 a packet in
not a packet.
Well, a kilo price. Oh, I did it whichever way I made them even. So £8 in the UK, which is the dearest. $7.61 in Spain. And then the cheapest was in France, $6.51. So overall, we found that the dearest was France. The cheapest, which you might expect, was Spain, and it could be even cheaper if you got your fresh veg from the markets.
Yeah.
And the dearest was England, or the UK.
No,
so
the second. The first expensive is France. The
first expensive. The most expensive.
That's it. The most expensive. The most expensive is France.
At £228.82.
The
for all
UK
those
came
items.
second with $2.20. Is that
$2.20
10
and 10 pence.
And Spain wins at £193.81.
Yeah, and if you're a boozer and you go to Spain, you'll save an absolute fortune because their alcohol prices are really, really low.
If you want premium, then you do pay a bit more for it. Obviously, you do pay a bit more, but if you're not bothered what you drink, it's as cheap as chips. And I'm sure you'll know that. We'll be going to Spain.
Yeah, but the other stuff, I mean, between the UK and Spain, it's only £17 difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not a mega amount of difference. And this is only these items.
I mean, we did this beginning of March, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's why he's trying to get it out now before
I've got to get it out now because I think
before the prices go up.
The situation with fuel in the UK, well, across the world now across Europe because of the war in Iran. I think the prices of fuel are going to go up, which will affect everything. Luckily for us in England, we don't have any manufacturing industry anymore, so it's not. It's just going to finish it off. But I don't know what point I'm trying to make there.
I don't know what point you're trying to make there.
Anyway, net zero will come a lot sooner because we'll have no fuel to burn. That's silly net zero. So there you have it. Spain's the cheapest.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Right, what else have we got coming up, Cath? And because of the fuel costs,
We are worried about our trip to France.
yeah, we might end up. I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know. What
Who
we're gonna
knows? We might even get rid of the motorhome and start doing trips out in a car, just doing travel vlogs around the area in a car.
do.
Day trips to towns.
It all depends. It all depends.
Yeah, we do. We would like to keep the motorhome for quite a bit longer.
I love the motorhome.
But
I love the motorhome.
I think there'll be a lot of people cancelling the European holidays this year.
We might even, depending on what happens, if we can't take the motorhome to France, we might even just drive down to our apartment in Spain with the car
And just stay down there.
Stay down there and go out round
Around Quesada and Rojales,
and
Torrevieja.
maybe a bit further afield.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
Yeah. But if any of this has been of any interest and you want to see anything similar, you can have a look back on our previous videos in Spain, a few in the UK, mainly in Spain. The ferry rides, which we always like, don't we?
we really enjoy ferry rides. Yeah.
Perhaps we should go off and do loads and loads of ferry rides and aeroplane rides. Anyway, for the moment, we're just knocking about around where we live, but we tend to be we're just walking everywhere.
We are. What we're doing is, because the supermarket's about a 20-minute walk, and rather than get the car or get the motorhome, start it up, go to the supermarket in it and come back, we've walked down to the supermarket and walked back, and it's a bit of exercise for us, and it saves with the fuel situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we do need exercise. Since I've retired, I think I've put weight on with not doing any proper exercise. So
I know.
Things have got to change this year, I think, Cath.
Things have got to change this year.
Yeah, no more chocolate. There's some in the fridge, isn't there? I thought we'd run out then. Anyway, so that's our little video for this subject.
Now, and before
we hope it's been some use for you, and we hope the other one, the previous one, as I said, I linked it up there somewhere earlier on, and I'll put it at the end of the video. But that gave all the exact costs, so you can, if you use the spreadsheet that's on there, I can send you a link to the spreadsheet. You can see for yourself exactly how much it costs to go from Ripon, fuel down to to Portsmouth, the cost of the ferry, the cost of the fuel from Bilbao down to Quesada, and then on the way back up you can see the fuel cost from Quesada all the way up to Dieppe, the ferry costs across from Dieppe, and then the fuel across from Newhaven. We filled up with fuel there, and we filled up with fuel in Ripon, and that little leg there was 140 quid just to fill it back up from
that were before even the prices even
before it changed
and went up.
So you can see that on the previous video if you're interested in numbers, and if you're interested in knowing anything else about the numbers which we've looked at, you can just leave a comment. And leave a comment anyway. We like reading the comments, and we always try and answer the comments as quick as we can. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everybody asks, but if you don't ask, you don't get.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell, then you'll get the next one. And that's your lot. So we shall see you on...
Before we go, may we take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy Easter, and thank you very much for subscribing, and thank you for watching.
Yeah. And thanks for the hypes. We've had a few hypes recently. I mean, I always hype other YouTubers. You're allowed so many hypes at a time, aren't you?
I have no idea what it's for.
But
everybody's hyping now. Yeah,
on my phone, I slide to the left or the right, and I press the hype button on certain. But you can only do so many. So if one of our regular YouTube, the ones we watch regularly, if you wonder why I haven't hyped, it's probably hyped a couple of different ones this week. So keep trying to remember to hype. And you too can hype if you're a regular customer. Not customer.
A subscriber.
A regular viewer or a subscriber. But thanks a lot to all the regulars and any new people.
Yeah,
we hope you
thank
stay
you.
with
We
us.
appreciate your
Yeah, you can stay.
subscription.
You can stay with us and see how we go on as retired with one state pension in the UK, trying to survive in these turbulent times. Ciao for now.
Bye.